Hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining me for the Next Leap webinar series sponsored by New Paradigm. I'm your host, Mark Heffner, and I'm thrilled you're here. Whether you're a single or multi-practice owner, a marketing leader, a C-suite executive, or just looking to up your marketing game, this series is designed to provide actionable insights that you can implement immediately. In today's rapidly evolving dental landscape, traditional methods are simply not enough. To truly thrive, you need to embrace innovation, leverage technology, and understand the power of data. The goal of this webinar series is to move you beyond day-to-day efforts and empower you to grow your practice efficiently and effectively. In each of these sessions, the next three-part series is designed to be concise, practical, and results-oriented. You will receive actionable tips and strengths and strategies that will transform your marketing approach, improve patient engagement, increase the efficiency of your practice and team, and ultimately drive significant growth for your bottom line. In part one, performance marketing and a customer-centric practice. Now in this session, we'll be focused on performance marketing and customer-centric practice as the core foundation that you'll need to build before undertaking the next marketing strategies. By creating and maintaining an emphasis on customer-centric practice, you will have more loyal patients and higher revenue. Here's the real question, guys. What are you hoping to gain from this series? What specific pain points do you hope to get addressed? Please send me an email. You can email me at mheffner@newparadigm.com, or you can send me a message. By the end of this series, you will have a clear understanding of how to shift your focus to revenue-driven marketing, how to leverage data to optimize your marketing efforts, how to embrace the power of AI and automation to make your practice more efficient, how to build an engaging online presence that'll help you attract new patients, and finally, how to leverage all of these new approaches while remaining HIPAA compliant. More importantly, you'll have actionable steps that you can immediately implement in your practice so you can begin to see the increase in revenue and the efficiency right away. If you guys really want to book an appointment though, scan the QR code on the bottom and we can talk with you later. So let's get into session one. All right, everybody. Let's talk about something that can be a real trap in marketing. Vanity metrics. Let's really talk about that. A vanity metric. What is that? How many of you guys like to know how many followers you have? How many likes you have? Those are vanities. Who cares how many likes you have? How many people are following you? If they're not becoming patients of yours, that doesn't do you any good. Who cares? What you want are patients who like you, patients who will come see you, patients who will come visit your offices and have them be your dentist. Have them take care of you, or have you take care of them, excuse me. These are the numbers that you might make you feel good on the surface, but they're often misleading. They actually don't tell you much about your practice's performance. How many of you regularly track website page views? What do you do with that information? Who has a specific number of media followers as a marketing goal, and why? Just think about it. Is having 10,000 followers on Instagram as valuable as having 10 actual new patients who book a comprehensive exam? They can be easily tracked and celebrated, but they don't move the needle in the terms of revenue growth or patient acquisition. We can all agree the goal of marketing is to drive revenue, right? So we need to focus on the metrics that align with that goal. How many of you feel that you have been chasing a metric that gives the illusion of growth and success, but doesn't actually drive revenue? These are just a few examples of vanity metrics. They can be tempting because they're easy to track and sound impressive. But if you want to truly understand your marketing ROI, you need to shift your focus. Of the metrics listed, which is the most commonly used in your practice? Think of one change you'd make to your tracking methods today, moving away from vanity metrics. What comes to mind? What actions do you take when you notice a high volume of impressions? Let's say your email open rate is fantastic. What other piece of data would you look to show a better picture of that success? Guys, what you really need to be looking at is what's to focus on and what's matter. Everything you're doing leads to bookings. You want to make appointments. Everything we have here, if you take a look, these are new patient booked appointments. And this is where they came from. These are data-driven decisions. We can understand how many patients we booked from each source. This is what you really want to know. If you're driving a Google ad and you're doing stuff on Google, you need to know what you're getting from it. If you're doing stuff on Facebook, you need to see how many patients you have coming in from them. If you're doing stuff on Instagram, TikTok, the TikTok stuff is really cute and can be really fun, but does it really drive patients into your office? Or are you just wasting time and energy? You really need to make that link. You need to understand the return on your investment, return on your time to make that happen. Now let's look at the other side of this, creating a customer-centric dental practice. We'll be focusing on defining the ideal patient. So all the stuff you guys were doing in driving your vanity metrics, do you even know what the patients are you're looking at? Who's your ideal patient? The data's sitting there, we can figure that out for you. And we'll get to that a little bit later. This dived into the most important aspect of a successful dental practice, creating a customer-centric approach. In today's world, patients have choices, and they're looking for a dental practice that not only provides excellent care, but also treats them like individuals. In fact, a good experience can be the key differentiator in a competitive market. If you're in most major cities, you'll find 4 or 5 dental practices on every corner. It's amazing how more busy it has become, how more dense it has become, and how much more competitive it's become. It is a difference between a patient who stays with your practice for years and a patient that never returns. Having a great experience is at the core of why that patient stays with you. And not just that patient, the whole family from that patient. You want them all to come into your office, and you should be working towards that. A customer-centric approach means putting your patients at the heart of everything you do. It means that every process, every interaction, and every decision should be considered the patient's needs first. Not what makes it easy for you or your staff, but what makes it easy for the patient. Once you put the patient first, everything flows from that. So let's look at some practical things your practice can do to create a customer-centric approach. But here's a question for you. How many of you use patient surveys? And if you've used them, what have you learned from them? First, it all starts with understanding your patient's needs. Don't assume you know what they need. How many of you do that? Oh, I know what they mean. I've been doing this for 20 years. Guys, it doesn't work that way. You need to ask. I know if I assume what my wife wants, dude, I'm in trouble. I always got to ask what she's wanting, what she needs. Be sure to actively listen and practice empathy. When I was a kid, my mom always told me, God gave me 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and to use them effectively. It's not just about what we think is best from a clinical perspective, but also about understanding the concerns of your patients, the fears, and their preferences. How do we do this? Consider implementing surveys after the appointments if you're not doing that. I know a lot of you guys are asking for ratings. Give me a 5-star Google rating before you leave the office. Those are great, and that helps in getting you more patients, but does it really help in your understanding of your patients? What you really want to put together is a 10-question survey that goes out to them and asks them how their visit was. How was the practice? Was it clean? Did we take care of you? Did we answer your questions? Did we have a good chairside manner? These should be implemented after every appointment. You can send those out today via text message, and it goes right out to them. Make this a part of your organization's daily routine. This will help you identify areas of improvement and personalize the care plans you create. Do any of you guys know what your most common complaint is that you hear about from your patients during their journey? What changes would you make if you were to hear them? Second, let's streamline the patient journey from the beginning to the end. Remember that their experience doesn't start once they're in the chair. It begins with the first touch point of your practice. Things like easy online scheduling. How many of you guys have online scheduling? I know some of you do. I know some of you don't. I know some practice management software systems don't allow it. You need to figure out a way to get around those issues. Easy to use forms. How many of your forms are easy to use? Oh, and by the way, how many of your forms that you're taking online are HIPAA compliant? Are they? Might want to verify that. There's a lot that aren't today. Clear pre-appointment instructions, convenient communication, and various payment options can all impact the patient experience and reduce friction. Patients expect convenience. How many of you guys order from Amazon? Isn't it easy? It's frictionless. Go online, type in what I want, click it, buy it, pay it. Sometimes it ends up on your front door 4 hours later. Convenience. Our society has been trained in convenience. The way things happened 5 years ago isn't acceptable today. Gotta put the patient first, guys. Think in their shoes. What would they like? Look at the surveys. It'll give you tons of information. Let me ask you this. How do you go about personalizing your patient outreach? It's all about building a real relationship. Dental care should be a partnership, not a transaction. Be proactive with follow-up calls after appointments. How many in your office are doing that today? Create a warm and welcoming atmosphere, and be sure to engage with patients beyond their appointment. Really simple. Send them emails, send them videos, just updates. Maybe even how to brush your teeth, how to take care of stuff with newborns. All these things that are going on. Things like birthday messages, appointment reminders, newsletters, and social media campaigns can all contribute to a good experience and build loyalty. How do you help your patients understand all of their options? And what is a process that you use for helping them come to a decision? Think about that. Options. Multiple options, not just one, but multiple options in taking care of an issue, because they're there. We need to empower our patients to make the decisions. They want to be informed. They want to be part of the decision-making process. Providing educational resources, being transparent about pricing and treatment options, and involving patients in treatment decisions will create a level of trust and show that you value their autonomy. It'll also create a patient for life. When was the last time you had a conversation with a patient that was focused entirely on their needs? What did you learn? Active listening and empathy is where it all starts. Instead of just focusing on the symptoms or the treatment, we need to look at the full picture. And I know a lot of you guys only have like 15 minutes with the patients. Not enough time. In and out. 4 patients in an hour. I get it. You got to figure out a way to take a breath before you walk into every patient's room. Every one of those operatories, take a breath before you walk in and relax. Dedicate that time to that patient full on. I know it's a lot of work, guys. This is how you get your practice to grow. Instead of just focusing on the symptoms or the treatments, like I said earlier, we need to look at the full picture. We need to go beyond asking simple questions and be intentional about understanding the patient's fears, concerns, and preferences. This isn't just about hearing. It's about truly listening and picking up the clues that are both verbal and nonverbal. Guys, only 10% of what I'm talking about today is verbal. The other 90% is nonverbal. And it's hard to see via video. I get it. But when you're in the obituary with the patients, you can see their whole body. You can see their body will communicate so much more of how they're feeling and what's going on. So be in tune. Look. Are they slumped in their chair? Are they looking down? Or are they engaged with you? Simple things. Question. When was the last time you had a conversation with a patient that was focused focused on everything. The nonverbal clues we kind of already talked about, guys. So listen and learn, listen and hear, and work through that. Guys, so what tools do you use to create the most personalized treatment plan? And is it part of your office workflow? Moving past a one-size-fits-all treatment plan into individual treatment planning will help your practice grow. A single professional with a busy schedule might prefer a shorter appointments and faster treatment plan options. Just think about it. Tailoring your treatment options for the patients will help you and will help your practice. We need to recognize that each patient comes with their own unique set of circumstances, needs, and expectations. Considering the difference between a busy professional looking for a convenience and a retiree on a fixed income, how do those unique situations affect their needs and the treatment plan you create? Do you have a preference for a certain communication channel? Do you know what your patients prefer when you talk about your practice? You know what? It doesn't matter what you guys prefer when it comes to communicating with your patients. Patients expect you to communicate with them in the method they prefer. Be sure to offer multiple communication options and make it easy for them to choose their method of contact. We need to move beyond just the phone and utilize digital methods of communication for ease and convenience. How easy are you making it to communicate with your office? And are they HIPAA compliant at the same time? Let's talk about the other part of this. Probably no one really talks about. What steps do you do to ensure your patient's basic logistical needs are being met? Finally, being patient-centric also means addressing logistical needs. That includes convenient appointment times, easy scheduling, relaxing and calming environment, making sure all of the business aspects of the patient experience make it easy and convenient for them to be in your practice. Guys, there are practices out there right now that are open on Saturdays and Sundays. There are some practices that are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and even later to help meet the needs of their patients. I know everybody wants to come in at 8, leave at 5, or come in at 9, leave at 6, or come in at 9, leave at 2. In today's environment, if you guys want your practice to grow, you got to be where your patients want to be. You got to be ready to receive them. You got to make your time convenient for them instead of having to make their schedule fit you. Do you like taking off work, leaving your office to go see your doctor or something else? Think about it. Well, guys, we're at the end of this session, and I want to thank you. Look forward to you coming to our next webinar. If you want to learn more, please go to my website, newparadigm.com. If you want to send me an email, it's right here on the screen, mhefner@newparadigm.com, or you can send me a text to 949-627-9204. I look forward to talking to you guys soon, and go make it a great day.